are set to do a throwback on White Men Can't Jump. I'm Matt alongside Brian and Jeff. And guys, isn't this the greatest basketball movie you have ever seen? Jeff, just got done watching it. What do you think?
I think that a lot of airbrushing was done on the cover of Jimi Hendrix's album because I don't think his drummer and bassist were white.
The whole damn band was white.
It's airbrushing.
Look, I forgot how fucking good this movie was until you made me go back and watch it. I love this movie.
It's awesome.
One of my all-time closet favorites. A movie, though, nay I say, if it's on TV, just do not watch it. You have to watch it rated R, man. Seriously.
100%.
Let's jump right into it. Our 5 grading criteria. Let's go right into the cast. Brian, start with you. Talk about the cast a little bit.
I fucking love it, dude. Woody Harrelson is one of my favorite actors anyway. And then you put Wesley Snipes, like, going fucking crazy. They had such good chemistry. No two actors, regardless of race, could play any roles like this together. They had beautiful chemistry together. It was awesome.
So great. Jeff?
I'll keep mine brief, Matt, so you can just run with this one. But I think their chemistry is so good in this movie that, to me, it's like the pinnacle if you're trying to grade, okay, did these two actors have chemistry? You're like, well, at the top of that chart would be Billy Hoyle and Sidney Dean in White Men Can't Jump. And that's like what every duo should strive for. So just unreal to me.
It's a movie that, can I compare to Get Out that we just watched, but it's on the other side of the fence, that it is so white versus black, and this is how, like, you know, black people view white people, and white people view black people. It's so great, especially they're both basketball players, and how they play off each other. A lot of that has to be improvised, doesn't it? A lot of that can't be on script, because
100%.
it was just perfect. And I know they're trying to redo it. I hope they tread lightly on that, because I don't know if it could be as good as the original one. So let's go right into the story, because I'm kind of interested on what you guys have to say about that, because this took place, I think, in 93, this came out, or something like that. Jeff, talk about the story.
Yeah, the story's great because I like the way it ends. It's not like your typical movie, but I think the great part about the story is that, like, number one, it's really, really believable. You're like, yeah, dude, these guys would fucking stab each other in the back first chance they'd get. And then they take, like, a little bit of ridiculousness, obviously, when Gloria gets to go on Jeopardy. But it's confined. The basketball looks great in it. It's just, like, a great movie. I don't really know how else to elaborate on that.
Brian?
Yeah, to me, it's like they go, hey, let's make a movie about gambling and street ball. Okay, well, like, we have to have a story behind it. All right, well, like, one of them owes somebody money, and the other one's married, and his wife wants to buy a house. Okay, so, like, the white guy wants to buy a house, right? No, let's flip it. Oh, the black guy wants to buy a house, and the white guy owes people money. Okay, yeah, that's cool. And then somebody was just a really good fan of Jeopardy and was like, hey, let's throw Jeopardy in there, too. But yet it all fits and it works. And like you said, Hornacek, I love the ending where he doesn't get the girl.
Right.
But yet they're still friends, but you know they would steal money from each other.
But it ends with them arguing again, which is perfect.
Yeah.
This movie at the bottom should say bros before hoes, because that's what Billy Hoyle basically did at the end. It's like my bro before my hoe. But I think the story is pretty dated. I love it. But if they redid it again, like I think they're going to try to do, I don't think there's many people out there playing street ball for money anymore. You know, most people, you know, are on the internet or something like that. People don't actually go out and do athletic shit anymore. I love this.
Nobody has that much cash on them.
Now I'm not on the south central side of LA, so I don't know what goes on out there. Maybe they do. Who knows?
In modern day, they win. They'll be like, "Yo, Venmo me that money, bro." From the fucking.
Well, I love that Billy Hoyle played in a small college, you know, New Mexico or somewhere, and he tried to point shave, but he got pissed off because the guy called him a honky fucker. So then he went off for 40 points. Now he owes these guys like 8 grand. It's a fantastic story. It's awesome. So let's move on to best scene, because we might get all the same one. But Jeff, go ahead, best scene.
So this was hard for me. I had to go for one. First off, the opening scene is incredible. If any of you guys say that, great answer. But my favorite scene is actually the loudest that I laughed in the movie, and it doesn't even directly involve Billy Hoyle or Sidney Dean. It's when they first hustle Raymond and that other guy, and Raymond needs money, so he takes his gun, goes into the liquor store to rob them, and I think the best line in the movie is the guy's like, "Why you got that gun for?" And he goes, "I'll sell it to you for $250, but now you're robbing me."
Yeah. He's like trying to sell it.
That was my
favorite.
favorite.
In the park trying to play for money. Come on,
I I actually had to pause my movie because I was laughing so hard. So that was my favorite scene.
Banner.
I had to go with the opening scene whenever Billy first hustled Sydney. I think that one is so fucking good. He's like, look, if I make 2 in a row, like, that's a miracle.
Yeah.
I've never done that.
I've never made 3.
I'd never make 3 in a row. And he doesn't hit the net, or he never hits the rim once on all 5. He goes, oh, I just won your money. Well, I'm going to Sizzler now.
My favorite, I wanted to do where, you know, he couldn't jump and he lost all the money, but honestly, that's like the worst scene in the movie, because I'm like, dude, your chick's waiting for you at home. She's going to fuck you. You just won money. Why would you gamble it again? My favorite scene is the opening, man, the opening of this episode. Whenever they're driving in the car and he plays Jimi Hendrix, because that's so, like, anytime, like, I'm from Missouri, but anytime I play Nelly around, like, my black friends, they look at me like, why are you playing this? And the greatest quote ever is just like, what are you doing? He's like, I like to listen to it. But that's all you white people do. You listen. You can't hear Jimmy. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? It's the same thing. That was my favorite scene whenever they were talking about music down there. I don't know. It's just... And the thing about it, I was like, man, this is 92. I think I was maybe 4 years old. I remember watching this with my dad. And we're still fighting this today, which is kind of sad, but we're still fighting the same shit that they were fighting back then. Okay, so let's go to effects on pop culture. Jeff. White men can't jump effects on pop culture.
So I looked at Harrelson and Snipes' filmography after this, and Snipes had done a few movies, but this really just set off both their careers into the stratosphere. I mean, Snipes was white hot after this. Obviously, he owned the mid-'90s and the early aughts. Harrelson had just come off Cheers, and people were like, all right, bro, what are you, like a bit comedian? We don't really know what you are.
Yeah.
The rest is history for him. And also, the thing I love about this is a type of movie that is really original in the sense that we don't get many street ball movies that take a comedic look at that sort of life. Yeah. Most of them are sort of like a little more visceral, and they deal with like coming through poverty. This was a fun way to put some levity into that sort of scene, and I think it was done really well because it was done with 2 guys that had just unreal chemistry.
Banner?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I think it had a big impact on it because it takes a different look, and it takes a look that not a lot of movies take. I mean, yes, it's black versus white, but at the end, this is where a African-American black man and a white Caucasian man are friends, and they work together. And at the end of the day, you can tell, like, yes, they'll hustle each other for money, but they truly care for each other. Who's the person when they're both in trouble that they go to for help? Each other. And I think that that's a look that not a lot of movies, or a stance that not a lot of movies take.
Can I say the one thing that was totally stupid in this movie, and that was when they wanted to do a thing for Brotherhood, so they decided to throw a street ball tournament, and you're like, you should know that fights are just going to break out left and right. Which basically happened. Like the one guy, when they fought, the one guy's like, let's get the hell out of here before we lose our sponsors. That was like one of the greatest things ever.
It's like a 1 step forward, 2 steps back type fight.
Wesley Snipes, though, actually is in 2 of my favorite sports movies ever. This one and the original Major League, where no one else should play Mace Hayes but him. Effects on pop culture, sadly, this doesn't have very much effects on pop culture. I love this movie, and whenever I brought this up to you guys, you're like, oh yeah, I'll rewatch it. Then once you rewatch it, you're like, oh my god, this is fantastic. A lot of people never really talk about this movie. I never see it on TV. It's very sad because it's probably one of the best basketball movies ever, except it's not about the NBA or college or anything like that. All right, guys, 2 questions. Rewatchability, would you rewatch it again, yes or no? And then also, since they're trying to revamp it, who do you want to play the new Billy Hoyle and Sidney Dean? Jeff?
Rewatchability, yes, of course I would rewatch it, but this is the type of movie, since it's not like a straight comedy, I don't want to overdo it. Like, I don't want to ruin it for myself, so I won't rewatch it that much. And I know this is cliche, but I think I really want Michael B. Jordan as Sidney Dean.
Yeah.
The only name I had for Billy Hoyle, what you told me about, Geiger, so I'm going to save it for you because I think it's an incredible casting.
No, go ahead. Take it from me. I won't answer this.
Justin Timberlake, I think, could be Billy Hoyle. We know the guy can play basketball, and I think he can play the hustler in the sense of, like, if he wants to dumb himself down and look like a total goober on the basketball court, I could believe that, and then I could also believe when, you know, the other hand turns and you're like, okay, this guy's actually a baller. So I think Timberlake and Michael B. Jordan would have awesome on-screen chemistry and could both play the basketball aspect of it. Banner, what do you think?
Justin Timberlake and Michael B. Jordan would be perfect. Banner, rewatchability, and do you agree with Jeff, or would you want to switch out an actor?
Well, now that you said Jordan and Timberlake, I can't think of anybody else. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, I'm sitting here going through my head. I'm like, so this person and this person, and I'm like, well, never mind. Rewatchability. Look, I'm not gonna lie. This is one of those movies that went under the radar. I kind of forgot about it until Geiger was like, hey, you got to watch White Man Can't Jump again. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. God, I fucking love this movie. Like you said, Hornacek, I can watch it maybe once a year just so it doesn't ruin it for me, but it's such a good movie. If you haven't seen it, go back out and watch it.
Sidney Dean didn't want to play in the NBA because the shit might fuck up his game. That was one of the best quotes, too, whenever Michael Jordan came down the beach.
He didn't even consider it. I said, hell no.
Shit might fuck my game up. I don't want to go play Summer Pro. All right, that is our Broback segment of White Man Can't Jump. Check out our website, www.Bro4Squad.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube. Check us out on Twitter at Bro4Squad and like us on Facebook. Until then, we'll check you later.